Once again, welcome you to the series of 600 plus confusing English words initiative by Edu Junction family. Today we will have the words here: all, whole and every. What? All, whole and every. We use every with singular countable nouns. What? We use every with singular countable nouns. So we have the example is I exercise every day. Here you can see day is countable, so we use I exercise every day. Next we have every student in the class has a computer. What? Every student is countable, so we use here every. So every student in the class has a computer. We are talking about student, every student. So we have the next sentence is every necklace in this store costs more than $1,000. So here a necklace is countable, so we use every, and we will have here we have now all is used with plural nouns. What? All is used with plural nouns. All is used with plural nouns, or all can be used with uncountable nouns to mean 100% of many things. What? To mean 100% of many things, we can use all with uncountable noun, and we can use all with plural nouns. So here we have the sentence is all of the students in class have computers. All of the students in the class have computers. Here we are talking about all students there in the class, so student is plural here, so we use all of the students. Now we have the next sentence is all of the necklaces in the store are expensive. Here necklace is plural, necklaces is plural, so we use with all. Now we have the next sentence is all of this furniture is new, means many pieces of furniture. What? Means many pieces of furniture is new. If we talk about time, there is difference between every day and all day. If we talk about every day, it means that if you study every day, it means that you study on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And if you study all day, what? If you study all day, it means that you study from early in the morning until late at night. And if we talk about whole and entire, then we can say that there is no big difference between whole and entire. There is only difference between whole and entire is whole is less formal and entire is more formal, with uncountable or singular countable noun to mean 100% of thing. What? To mean 100% of thing, we use these things like I ate the whole pizza. What? I ate the whole pizza. It means that we ate 100% of one pizza. And we talk about whole pizza. Here we talk about whole pizza. So we have next example. I finished reading the entire book in 3 days. What? I finished reading the entire book in 3 days. It means 100% of one book we took 3 days to complete. Here we have more examples to show difference between all and whole or entire. We have example, I ate the entire cake. What? I ate the entire cake. It means that 100% of one cupcake. So now we have sentence I ate all the cupcakes. what I ate all the cupcakes. It means that 100% of many cupcakes, because we use here all the cupcakes. It means that what? Of many cupcakes. What? Of many cupcakes we ate. And now we have the sentence, the whole apple is rotten. The whole apple is rotten. It means 100% of one apple. What? It means that 100% of one apple is rotten, so we use the whole apple is rotten. Now we have the sentence, all the fruits is rotten. What? All the fruits is rotten. It means that 100% of many fruits. What? 100% of many fruits is rotten. Like 100% of many apples, 100% of many grapes, 100% of many bananas, all the fruits are rotten. Now we have a fresh look on all these. If we talk about I ate the whole pizza. What? If we talk about eating the whole pizza, it means we ate 100% of one pizza. Okay, what? We ate 100% of one pizza. If we take example, I finished reading the entire book in 3 days. It means we read 100% of one book in 3 days. We have the example, I ate the entire cupcake. It means that we ate 100% of one cupcake. If we take example, I ate all the cupcakes. Here we use plural form of cupcake with all. It means that we ate 100% of many cupcakes. Okay, and if we take the whole apple is rotten, it means that 100% of one apple is rotten. What? It means that 100% of one apple is rotten. If we say all the fruit is rotten, if we say all the fruit is rotten, it means that 100% of many apples, bananas, grapes, guavas, etc. are rotten. Now I think these things are clear to you. Now we have the words all of and each of. Actually my pen tab is not working well, but we are adjusting. So we use each to talk about objects individually, and we use all to talk about objects as group. Okay, what? We use all to talk about objects as group, and what? We use each to talk about objects individually. So we have the examples. The teacher gave a different task to each student. So what? The teacher gave tasks to each students. It means that here each emphasizes the individuality of the member of the group. So we have the next example. The teacher gave test. What? The teacher gave tests to all the students. Here all emphasize the students as a group. What? Here all emphasizes the students as a group. So in a similar way, each of the members of a group, what? Each of the members of a group emphasizes them as a individuals. Okay, and if we talk about all of the members of a group, if we talk about all of the members of a group, emphasizes them as a whole. So all of emphasizes the things as a whole, and each of emphasizes as individuals. We have the examples. Each of the chairs is handcrafted. Here we are individualizing every chairs. So each of the chairs is handcrafted. And if we take another, all of the chairs are made in a factory. All of the chairs are made in a factory. Here we are emphasizing them as a whole. Here we are emphasizing all the chairs as a whole. So we have another example. The doctor spends an hour with each of the patient. Okay, here we are individualizing patient one by one. So the doctor spends an hour with each of the patients, and now if we use all, then all of the patients think he is a great doctor. Here we are not making patient individual, we are talking about, we are emphasizing here all the patients. So all of the patients think he is a great doctor. And another thing, another big thing I'm gonna tell you is that we always use singular form of verb. What? We always use singular form of verb with each. So each of these chairs is handicrafted, not not are handicrafted. So each, here we use each, so each always take a singular form of verb. So each chair is handicrafted. Okay, each of the patient was seen by doctor, not were seen by doctor. Okay, because we use here each, and each always takes singular form of verb. Now sentence with all of, what? Sentence with all of use singular form of the verb if the noun is singular. What? If the noun is singular, then all of the sentences with all of will take singular verb, and the if the noun is in the plural form of the verb, if the noun is plural, means that if all of is used with singular form of noun, then it will take singular verb, and if all of is used with plural form of noun, then it will take plural verb. We have the example here, examples we have here. All of the beer is imported. So here beer is singular. Okay, so we have here is singular verb. Now we have all of the bottles are recyclable. Here bottles, what? Bottles, as form of bottle is used, so bottles are plural, and we take are. Here verb is in also plural form. Okay, all your device was excellent. Here all your advice was excellent. Here advice is singular, and we take singular verb. Okay, now we have example, all your suggestions were excellent. Here suggestions is in plural form, so we take here plural form of verb were. Now we have the word already, all right, and all right. So already and all right, the two words mean that everything is ready and everything is correct. It means everything is okay and everything is ready. So we have the sentence, the students are already in the test. It means that all the students are ready for the test. If we have the sentence, your answers are all right, it means that all your answers are right. What? If your answers are all right, it means that all your answers are right. So now already means that something happened earlier than expected. What? Something happened, what? Earlier than expected. Then we use already, like he has only 14 and he has already graduated. He is only 14, okay, and he has already graduated from high school. He is a genius. What we are talking about, that he is only 14 and he is only 14, but he have completed his graduation. So we are talking about already done, something already done here, so we use he has already graduated from high school. And now we have the next sentence is, the repairs on my car are finished already. It means it had done before the expected time. Okay, so we use already here. Wow, that was fast. So Now we have next sentence is, you don't have to wash the dishes, I have already done it. It means that the dishes was washed what earlier than the expected time. And now we come to the next. All right. All right can also means okay or uninjured or acceptable or average. It means if something is average or something is acceptable, if something is uh, okay or uninjured, then you can use all right. We have the sentence is, or you are all right. What? You are all right. It means that you are okay. If we ask are you all right, it means that you are asking that are someone okay. It means after someone falls down and may have injured themselves, so you are asking that is he all right. We have the next sentence is, if it is all right with you, we all rescheduled with the meeting. Here we are asking that if all the things is going in the right direction, if all the things is good going, then we here talking if it is all right with them. Now we have next sentence is, the food at the restaurant is all right. It means the food was all right. It means average, not especially great but not bad either. It means the food was not bad and also not especially great. And if we talk about ALRIGST, all right, this is the variant of all right. This is not formally correct, okay, but people used it informally. And now we have the words allow, let and permit. So these verbs, what these verbs allow, let and permit, all have the same meaning but the difference in their grammatical structure. The only difference is in their in their grammatical structure, and the meaning of the three word allow, let and permit is same. So we have the structure of let. So let plus person or thing plus base form of verb without to. So there here the structure of let will be let plus person or thing plus base form of verb. Now we have the sentence, I don't let my kids watch violent movies. Here let plus person or thing and the base form of verb is here. So we use let with this structure, and I am gonna clean you to have a watch on this once again. Let plus person or thing plus base form of verb without to. Now we have the sentence, Mary's father won't let her adopt a puppy because he is allergic to dogs. So here we use let with person or things, and we have the verb base form. And we have next sentence is, our boss doesn't let us what let us eat lunch to our desk. We have to eat in the cafeteria. What? That the boss doesn't let them to eat lunch at their desk. They had to eat it in cafeteria. We have next sentence is, oops, I wasn't paying attention while cooking and I let the food burn. Here let is used with person or things, okay, and with verb base form. So if we use let, then the structure if we use let, then the structure should be let plus person or things plus verbs base form. Here we have next example is, don't let the advertising expenses surpass $1,000. Here we have let with the things or the verb form is used in base form. And if we talk about the past tense of let, then the past tense of let is also let, so there is no change. Okay, and now we move on. The verb allow and permit, you know, allow and permit are more formal ways to say let are used generally in informal ways, but in formal ways allow and permit are more common. However, with allow and permit we use the verb form is 2 plus v1. We have the sentence I don't allow. What we use here? Allow my kids to watch violent movies. Here we are talking formal, so we use allow. Okay, and allow with 2 plus v1 form. We have next sentence is our boss doesn't permit us what? 2 plus v1. Okay, our boss doesn't permit us to eat lunch at our desks. Okay, and earlier we have sentence what it was? Our boss doesn't let us what? Eat lunch at our desks. No, here this is less formal. Here the sentence is in informal, so we use here let. And now permit is most formal, let is least formal, and allow is in the middle. Okay, it means if we're talking about the intensity, then permit is on the topmost, and then allow, and then let is very least formal. Okay, with permit and allow we can also say that something is or not permitted or allowed. What? Like smoking is not allowed. Okay, employees are allowed to take 1 hour lunch break. So with permit and allow we can say that something is or not permitted or allowed. This is the structure. Okay, so we have the next sentence is passengers are not permitted to use cell phones during take off. Here passengers are not permitted to use cell phones during take off. Here we are not permitting the passengers. Now we have the words allude and elude. These are very common words, and people generally make mistakes. If you allude to do something, it means that you refer it to indirectly without saying it. Okay, specifically, for example, if there is a software program with lots of bugs and errors, the developer might allude to the problems by saying that the process of developing the software was very challenging. It means here he does not mention the problems, okay, but here he does not mention the problems, but he hints at them by describing the development as challenging. So if someone has just received a promotion, they might allude it by saying that they are happy about recent events at work. Again, the person did not specifically say I am happy because I got a promotion. They just refer it to very indirectly. And if we talk about the word elude, elude means to avoid or escape from something. We often talk about criminals eluding the police or eluding capture. So elude means to avoid or escape something. Okay, we can also use elude in a mental sense when something escapes your understanding or cannot be gotten by you. What? When something escapes from your understanding or cannot be gotten by you, then you can use also elude. I have tried and failed many times. Success seems to elude me. No? You have tried and you have tried many times but you failed, so success seems to elude you. Now we have the sentence, despite hours of study, the answer to the question continued to elude the students. So here, elude sense that something escapes from your understanding or cannot be gotten by you. In fast spoken English, elude and elude are often pronounced same, but the meaning is different. Okay. And now we talk about almost, mostly, and nearly. Very common word. Nearly and almost are essentially the same. What? Nearly and almost are essentially the same. They mean that somebody or something. What? They mean that somebody or something came close to do something but did not do it. What? When somebody and something came close to doing something but didn't do it, then we can use nearly or almost. For example, if Jane is running in a race and came in second place, just a couple of seconds behind the winner, then you could say Jane almost won the race, but he didn't won the race. Okay, he was very close to won the race, but he didn't. So Jane almost won the race. If your computer battery has 8% left only, if your computer battery only has 8% power left, then you can say that the battery is almost dead. It has not died, but it's very low. Okay, it means that the battery is nearly dead. Both means same. But the word mostly means generally, usually, or more than half. Okay, if we use the word mostly, it means generally, usually, and more than half. It is mostly cloudy. What? It is mostly cloudy. It means that the sky is more than half covered with clouds. So mostly describes a proportion, the greater part, etc. And if there are 20 people in an English class and 17 are from South America but 3 are from Asia, then the students are mostly from South America, because the maximum percentage of students are from South America. Okay, so there is also a difference between most of and almost all. What's the difference? Most of means more than 50% and almost all means close to 100%. So we have the sentence, no? If 70% of senators voted to approve a new law, then most of them voted in favor of it, because it is more than 50%. And if 97% of senators voted to approve a new law, then almost all of them voted in the favor of it. So here I think today I was not in a good mood, but I kept it on. So thank you. Wait for the next session. Thanks a lot.